last time you guys had officially arrived upon this isle that has been created out of the lost remnants of a black great worm. Started walking around this island, you noticed a couple of things, which was there was a larger hut sitting towards the back, what looked to appear to be like a cliffside. You see that there are lots of statues of various types of animals, humanoids, monsters, and one in particular caught your eye close to the shore, which you soon deduced was a type of devil. The other interesting thing is you guys all deduced that these statues all appear to be frozen in motion and weren't sitting upon pedestals, but kind of had spots made for them. And you noticed that there was some very nice music being played. One, a type of organ, and one of a musical instrument you identified as an urhu. And you kind of followed the trail of this string music up to the northwest of this isle to a small shack in which you found a iron door, and behind it was this large older woman with a prosthetic arm that you learned her name was Lady Angra Laboda. In Sephel's attempt to free her, in which you did, a trap was set off in which the cell door exploded, hurting all of you. And with the good grace of Indigo and their god Proal, you guys have healed up pretty much all the way, right? I think there's maybe only a couple hit points missing from you all, if that. So beautiful job, and in Sephel's picking on Indigo, Lady Laboda just kind of stood up for Indigo, praising his fine work and those of his kind of the clerical nature. And you were told by Laboda of this beautiful woman with brown hair and wearing a fine kind of gown and a ornate silver mask that covered their face, and a type of lizard pet that seemed to be able to petrify those that it looked upon. And you guys deduced that it is a basilisk. And after kind of healing yourselves up, this mysterious woman had appeared outside of the hut and told her pet to go searching for the guests. And as it kind of went towards the shore to the south from the house, it passed by the devil statue and has disappeared, and the figure has walked back inside. And we now find ourselves back in the present, where Sephel is hiding behind the great worm, Skull, Lara, Laboda, Indigo, and Stool hiding behind the former prison cell. What do you want to do?
I think I'll take this occasion to say a quick prayer. Proal, please guide our steps and watch over us here. And I'm going to cast Bless at first level to Sephel, Lara, and... Oh, sorry, no, I can't do Lara because I can't see her because she's invisible.
That's right.
Damn it.
So then I'll do it to myself, Sephel, and Stool.
Much obliged.
Sorry,
Remind me,
Lara.
Bless is saving throws?
Saving throws and attacks.
And
D4.
attacks.
Attack
Excellent.
rolls.
Thank you very much.
And then looking at Laboda, who looks hella jacked, but also kind of like she's been sitting in a hut for like a long time, I'm going to hand her my mace, which I rarely use, but it seems like she could put good use with.
She takes it in her hand. She kind of nods at you in thanks, and it seems almost somewhat small in her large hand, but yeah, you think she could do some damage with it.
Oh, good. Just until we find something. Oh, sorry, we're being quiet. Shh. Okay.
Lara's going to come up behind Indigo and Lady Laboda and Stool. She's visible, so she's gonna lean in and just all right, don't freak out, it's Lara.
What the fuck?
Stool. Oh, he can't
Sorry.
speak out loud anyway. So.
What if
I'm
Stool
gonna-
was just like, I always know where you are because my spores are in your brain.
That's
Oh
fucked.
my god. We kill the mushroom now.
Yeah, there's just.
I'd
there's
like to see you
layers.
try.
Just start smashing
Yeah,
Stool.
right. No, this is a real concern to think about, but that's later.
Yeah, we really.
We don't know
haven't
anything
spent-
about this guy.
We haven't spent a whole lot of time thinking about how fucking trippy Stool's whole existence is.
Yeah.
Your
yeah.
entire trip down here has been trippy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
No,
that
you're
doesn't
right.
make him any better.
You're a mind flayer, bro.
Yep. Fuck off.
All right. Take 2. Lara's gonna come up behind Indigo, Stool, and Lady Laboda and just lean in and say, "It's Lara. Don't panic."
Ah!
Indigo, what did I say?
Well, I mean, you said it very startlingly, though.
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
All right. I think that we should head over to the main building because I don't know. It seems like that woman is in charge of this creature. What do you think? I'm happy to keep watch here as I'm invisible. And I can let Sephel know the plan. But what do you think?
I mean, I guess it's worth trying. I mean, she locked Lady Laboda here away, so she's not like super great. We just need to be really careful because if she has like a creature working for her, she probably has some kind of, I don't know, some kind of power of her own, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. But well, perhaps you can get eyes on the situation and I'll keep watch here.
Okay, I can do that. Well, you tell Sephel, and yeah, I can. We can move a little bit closer. I don't want to be too far away, just in case things get dangerous.
I'll be fine. She's gonna head out to go find Sephel.
She's always like that. Oh, you're still there.
Oh.
Hi.
All right. Okay, so you scamper on over to the south, to the Great Worm's skull, and you find Sephel.
Sephel, don't panic. It's Lara.
Smart.
Can you go invisible? I know you're a wizard.
I don't know why that was funny. You're a wizard, Sephel. In case you didn't know.
You're a wizard,
You
scary.
do the magics.
I know you learn things. Have you
It
learned
is-
this?
It is not an ability I myself have learned.
I could
I
try and
wouldn't-
teach you sometime.
It doesn't work that way. I would need to find the regardless.
It's not important.
It's not important at the moment. We'll circle back.
All right. Anyways.
I spoke with Indigo, Lady Laboda, and Stool. They're gonna head to the building and see if they can get eyes on the woman who retreated back into that area. I'm gonna keep watch here as hopefully I have some ability to stay hidden and it won't be able to find me. What do you want to help Indigo? What do you think your skills are apt for here?
I could see myself useful in either case. It's smart to understand both opponents. It's possible that the woman is... If she can control such a beast and can lock away a fighter, she must have abilities. We know nothing of her yet. I'm concerned of... You are invisible and that is smart, but I'm concerned of you staying here. Because if you are found and left alone, no one will be here to help you.
I appreciate it. The island is... I'm not worried.
It's not a
about-
concern for you, it's a concern for our survivability if we lose.
Oh
you.
no, I would never think that you
No,
were
it's
worried
not a
about me,
personal-
Sephel. No, of course.
Your appreciation means nothing to me. My survival, on the other hand.
No, you are flesh in my army. No, I completely understand.
Yes.
Yes.
So as you can
100%.
tell, Lady Laboda, we have a really great thing here. We all really care for each other. and it's like a little found family.
Stool is just
Yes,
shaking
you
his
would-
cap the entire time.
You would survive many battles, I'm sure.
If you are confident that you can stay hidden, but you must be aware if you take the initiative as you tend to do, your disguise will be short-lived.
No, you're right. I think this will work for now. I'll position myself in such a way as that I have a good means of escape if I need it.
Also keep in mind, if the beast does not know where we are at right now, there is less of a need for you to keep watch.
Well, I think because we're going to be moving closer to the building, I want to be able to intercept it if needed. I think I'm going to post up over by the well so that I have a good vantage point over most of the island.
That seems fine. Just be careful. And Sephel is actually going to reach into his things, and he's going to pull out that spider embroidered handkerchief that he got in Sloopadoop.
Okay.
And he is going to offer it in the direction of Lara's voice to guard your eyes if you need it.
She looks at the handkerchief, takes it. Does it go invisible, Will?
I'm pretty sure by the spell invisibility, like, most things you are holding go invisible, so yes, I will say it is.
All right, yeah, she'll grab it then, and thank you. I'll hold on to this. Good luck. And she's gonna head out around the skeleton poking out at the great worm skull, and head over to the well. Not the well.
All right. Yeah, you're just scooching by me. Excuse me, pardon me. Make a stealth check, please.
Sure.
Sure.
First roll of the day. That's a 10.
Wow.
Delightfully average.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna add a very large bonus to that in my own mind. Okay. Yeah, you make it over to the well, and you don't notice if anything took notice of you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
It's the worst sentence
Yeah, right.
that
you
could
don't know.
possibly be uttered. You have no idea.
Invisible creature on invisible creature. What will happen? Indigo, what you Laboda and Stool, you guys are kind of still chilling out by the hut. Do you actually want to move on the main building or no?
I do want to get a little bit closer, but I'm wary of being too out in the open. So I think,
All right, guys. I don't want to get too far away from Sephel and Lara, but I don't want to get too far away from you either. But there's a little spot that I can see between the house and the wood pile. I'm gonna go there, but maybe the two of you should stay around the corner of the backside of the house. That way, if anything happens, I can get to you, or you can get to me. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me. Yes, we can do this. And she just like steps over, picks up Stool, and Stool's like, "Oh my gosh, such powerful arms!" And I'm gonna roll a stealth check for her. Ooh, out of the box. Wow, would have been better with out of the box, but okay. She starts quietly in her sandaled feet, sprinting. Oh, no, I don't want you as well, Indigo. They start sprinting across, and they make it to the other side, the back side of the building there.
all right. Seeing them go, I'm gonna make my way to that spot behind the wood pile.
Okay. Make a stealth check, please.
Absolutely. Not my best work. That's a 6.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Yeah, you make it over there, and while you kind of kicked up some stuff and made a little bit of noise coming in behind the woodpile, you're not sure if anything noticed you. However, as you get up along the building, you do hear something, and it sounds like footsteps behind you, like pushing down grass, like kind of that like soft hiss as you hear the blades as they get pushed down, like in tall grass. You hear that.
Oh no.
What do you do?
It's like directly like kind of north of me, or
Yeah, it feels like it's coming from directly behind you along the side of the building there. Yeah.
cool. If I'm hearing that, and I look out, and Lara is invisible, and Sephel is still somewhere behind the Great Skull, I'm just gonna kind of keep walking and wrap myself around the other side of like the corner. Just gonna kind of keep it moving.
Okay, so you're gonna cut across the front door of this hovel as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
After
right.
after Lara broke away from Sephel, he worked his way like up behind the skull. He was going to try to like meet up with the group behind the hut and saw them cut right across. So he's sort of at the edge here observing the side.
Okay. Sure.
Do I see anything?
go ahead,
I'll
sorry.
say like I just got up there. Do I see anything? I want to cross and meet up with them, but it like does the way look clear?
Make a perception check or investigation, either one.
Oh God,
I'll leave it in your hands.
Investigation is way fucking better. Cock die. Fuck. Can't roll for shit. Okay. 17 for investigation.
You don't think there's anything over there.
Okay.
However, you do hear what sounds like, and you see like Indigo rush around from behind this like wood pile and kind of like looking behind them for a quick second. You do hear that kind of like even softer now, that soft what sounds like someone walking through grass. Can both of you make wisdom checks for me?
Wisdom checks.
Sure.
Yes.
Just straight wisdom.
Yeah, I'm just double technically an insight check.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a 15 for Indigo.
Okay.
I have too many fucking dice in the same place.
Just pick one, boy.
No, I keep rolling it and it's rolling on top of the others and like
Gotcha.
going all over the place. Okay. So close to a natural 20. 16.
16. Okay. You both realize that this is some kind of mimicry of someone walking. There's not anything actually there. It doesn't... You realize it because you realize there's just not enough almost like weight or substance to the sound of the steps that you're like, that's not real. But it sounds really fucking close.
That's
Like close to the actual sound of a real footfall.
Yeah.
Not that, something else is there.
Okay. If Sephel makes that identification, he's gonna move across, I would say, to behind the log pile where Indigo just was. He's not gonna go all the way behind the building because he still wants a good eye on things. So I'll move up behind that log pile.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me, please.
Alrighty.
While he's rolling that, Lara, you can see the others moving about. You saw Indigo get behind the wood pile and then cross in front of the building, and now you see Sephel kind of running up. What are you doing as you're noticing this? But very quickly, Brendan, what'd you get there?
Sephel trips over the logs and topples half the pile. It was a natural one.
You get a... Oh. Oh.
It's a 3 total if that counts.
Mm.
That changes anything.
My gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. The danger's gone past, my friend.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
But like I imagine he comes up behind it and he's like crouched against it and tries to like peek out to get an eye on on Indigo and just puts just too much pressure on a couple of the logs and like topples them over each other.
Yeah, you, Indigo, Stool, Laboda, Lara, like everybody whips their heads around just like staring daggers at you.
Sorry.
And you all hear a voice coming from inside the hut. No. Don't be shy. Just come inside. Say hello. I have nice warm tea and treats. And that's all you hear.
I feel like
don't
Indigo
fucking
is just
like it.
making like eye contact with Sephel as he's like draped over the wood file. Like,
Yep. Sephel is going to... He's just gonna... He already fucking outed himself. There's no hiding here. He's gonna cross the rest of the way and get up next to Indigo. There's a statue. Is this statue filling the entire space? Could I squeeze into that spot, or...
It'd be a very tight squeeze, but unless you were climbing on the statue, it'd be a little much.
Okay, I'll like press up against the side of the building on the other side of the statue then. So there's like, it's Indigo in the corner and then like a frozen petrified corpse in between us.
Sure. Indigo and Sephel, what's your passive wisdom? Lara, you go ahead and give me that as well.
Pretty sure it's just a 10.
Technically your passive perception, I should say.
Yep, it's a 10.
9.
10, 9.
16.
16, yeah.
I see
That's
things.
right, fucking clerics.
Yup.
Wisdom? Okay. Wow. Well, luckily for all three of you, you feel like something is staring at both Indigo and Sephel. Like, you feel like something is definitely watching you from very close by. However, you cannot see it. And Lara, you notice that, like, from both Indigo and Sephel's kind of stance, you hear this kind of hissing coming from nearby them.
From nearby them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take one more look over at Sephel. I'm gonna give him like a nod, and I'm gonna step over to the door, to the house, and I'm gonna try the knob.
It turns. And do you put any weight behind it to, like, open it up?
I push it on open.
Okay. Oh boy.
If he goes through the door, I'm going to be right behind him.
Indigo, you open the door, and inside you see a pretty decent little home in here. Some of the most interesting features that catch your eye in this room is that on the western wall, standing against the wall between two windows, there is a large statue depicting a human male that is very, very large, probably 300-400 pounds. And they are kind of just like standing straight back and with their arms kind of outstretched, palms facing upwards. And to the immediate right of you is a very thin statue of a creature with these bent back legs, kind of like a dog's or like a frog's kind of legs, and it's sitting in a squat with these long arms and these long clawed fingers. And this skeletal kind of feature with like what looks like taunt skin, you can tell through the stonework here. It comes up into what looks like a skeletal face with long hair, stone hair kind of draping backwards over its back, and two very large horns that come out from the temples and bow upwards and come out to points. On the far north wall, you see a very nice organ in place with dozens and dozens of lit and unlit candles set atop it. And to the right of that organ, kind of moving to the northeast of this room, you see that there is I believe it's called a chaise, kind of like a weird shaped couch. Everybody can look it up. I don't know how exactly to describe it,
It's
other
like
than it's got like one rest arm and then it kind of slopes down. It's what people would lounge on.
Stereotypical therapy couch.
There you go. Thank you. That's a very good descriptor.
Is that a settee? Is it a settee?
Whatever it is. Yes. I will say yes, Sam. Yes, that is it. There appears to be, and it's of a like dark gray, kind of black color. It appears to be very old. Some of it seems to be kind of like ripped up a little bit. You see that there is a couch. You see that there's a very large bearskin rug. There's a very ornate looking chair with a footstool, which is here. You see that there's a great big hearth here that is barely lit, and a side table here. There's another statue in the far northeast corner depicting a woman in a fine gown. And that's all you can truly make out unless you step in there further. But you see that there are small kind of lanterns hanging along the walls, illuminating this large room.
Indigo is going to go ahead and step inside.
Sephel is right on his heels.
Wow, it's
Okay.
a lovely house you have here. Whoever you are, wherever you are.
Thank you.
Will, just for... sounded like we described it, but I want to be as accurate as possible. The door opened inward, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where it
It's important.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, it opened inward.
Okay.
And as you guys step foot in there, you actually stop hearing and feeling that presence staring at you. You, Lara, however, feel like something is now approaching your area. And Indigo and Sephel, you like look towards the north wall by that organ, and you can see Laboda and like holding up stools, so his two kind of like eye holes are peeking in, and they're like looking at you like, what the fuck?
They're gonna love the next thing. So Sephel is going to close the door.
Okay.
He is going to... it's not a spell, actually, so just the ability. He's going to use his adjust density, and he is going to half the weight of this statue on the right side of the door.
Okay.
And he is going to look to Indigo and say, help me move this. And he's going to get on the side and try to start moving the statue in front of the door.
Ooh, interesting. I like that. Cool. Me as a DM, very pleased. Cool work. Me
You said that,
playing
like,
as
like you as a player, you don't like it?
me as a player. Yeah, the owner of this home is not currently pleased. You hear the voice kind of reach out. There is no need to bar the door. All guests are welcome here. And how may your friends outside join us?
Just a little bit of redecorating.
Indigo is going to definitely help Sephel with that. And, there's a lot of nice windows here.
I would prefer that you don't move my statues or break through my windows, or you will no longer be very welcomed guests.
Yes, that's... very sorry about that. We'll clean up as soon as we are done. Are we moving the statue? Is it something like... are we...
It's part
capable?
of the map, but yes,
Sure.
you move the statue. It takes
Okay.
a good bit of effort, but I will say that yes, you move it in front of the door.
As soon as it is in front of the door, I drop concentration on the adjust density and return it to its regular weight.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you hear it groan, the wood floor groan as the statue settles back into place.
And I'll look to Indigo one more time and say, if you have anything left to prepare, do it now. We just sealed ourselves in the belly of the beast.
Well, no, that was very neat, Sephel, but this lady hasn't done anything wrong to us. We're just a little concerned, ma'am. Again, I still can't see you. That's fine. We have just heard some very disquieting things from Lady Laboda. And I would love for you to come out and maybe let us know your side of the story.
You two are certainly puzzles to me. One of you more so than the other. Unclaimed, I would say.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
You are a pawn. That much is clear to me. And, like, since you guys can't see her, you have no... It's just like me without the camera on right now.
Yeah.
You have no idea which one of you she's addressing right now.
So fucking weird.
A pawn of whom, though? That is the question. I can smell them upon you. Very interesting. Why have you been chosen by such a... Curious. This shall take much pondering. In the other one, I feel many forces about you. Just a little push, a little nudge. In whose arms may you fall amongst? I really wish your other friend would join us in here. I would very much like to meet the vassal of such an astonishing figure.
Apologies, we don't have time for the palm reading. Now, if you would be so kind as to drop the charade and show yourself, we've had enough invisibility.
You come into my home. You move my very distinguished guest and statue. You do not politely introduce yourself, and you expect me to show myself to such hostile people? I think not.
I do have one counterpoint. We entered with invitation.
This is fair.
That's all I have.
I did invite you. Very, very true. You have an interesting mind. I wish I could see more of it.
I am going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You detect magic. What's the radius on that again?
It is 30 feet. 30 feet radius.
Okay. You detect magic outside, probably about 20 feet away from you.
Oh.
You do not detect any other sources of magic currently.
Outside. And I'm gonna guess that it's probably illusion, but what is the just make sure I can...
It's exactly right. You detect illusion.
You can see a faint aura around any visible... Okay. And you learn at School of Magic, if any.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong here, detect magic allows you to pick up the presence of spells, right?
So... I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. Obviously, it's not visible, so I don't see an aura, but I do detect the magic.
Yeah. Okay,
and
then I will
learn
say
at
yes.
school.
You detect that there is illusory magic about 20 feet away from you outside.
Okay. Interesting. But nothing inside.
Nothing inside from where you currently are. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, if you'd like, I'd be happy to introduce myself, ma'am.
Please.
I'm Indigo Honeydew of the Wandering Abbey. Lately, I've been studying underdark flora and fauna, but though I have some cultural, writings as well, but not nearly as pronounced. I would love to make your acquaintance.
I have met some of your kind before. In fact, I think one of them still resides here, but it was many years ago.
Oh, shit.
Would you like to see them?
I would very much like to see them. Where are they?
Well, you would have to move the statue, as we do have to walk outside towards the southern side of my isle.
I am certainly interested, but would you mind telling me your name before we take a walk together?
It's Maven Delve. You may call me Madam, though.
Is Maven your first name or title?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Madam, have you been turning people to stone here?
Only those that weren't very kind house guests. See, Glare has quite an awful stare.
Oh, is that the name of your little friend?
Yes. You're very perceptive.
Oh, thank you.
Indigo, you then feel that voice next to you in your ear. I have something I'd very much like to show you.
What would that be, madam?
You must go outside. Did you see my altar upon the southern side of the aisle?
When she says that, Indigo looks directly into the spot where the sound is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of altar is it?
It is an altar of many things. One that can show you true sights beyond your wildest dreams. Indigo Honeydew. I think there is much that can link us together.
Oh, well, that's very nice. Perhaps we could have a very nice conversation if you would, I don't know, maybe just tell Glare not to look at us, and maybe we could sit down. We have some rations we could share with you. I have some cook's utensils I've been dying to try out. I mean, maybe we can have a nice little luncheon together.
Hey, Will, detect magic stays up for 10 minutes if I choose. Has anything else pinged?
Yes. You in a way.
Okay.
You what is it? What would it be under? You sense the presence of enchantment magic coming from right beside Indigo.
Enchantment magic.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the correct school of magic. Yeah.
And he's the only one hearing this part of the voice, correct? Or is it still sort of just in the building?
You can hear his voice. You cannot hear the other voice.
Okay.
No.
So, okay. All right.
You have been made this weird offer to go see this statue on the south side. Lara, you do not sense the presence of whatever or wherever the creature, the basilisk that you assume was kind of hanging out outside is. What are you doing, Lara?
Well, I originally heard it between me and Sephel and Indigo when they were outside the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't know where it's at. And I don't hear it at all.
Nope.
Okay, I want to keep my head on a swivel. I want to, like, keep looking majority of the time where I last heard it.
Okay.
And I want to ready an Eldritch Blast. And I'm just going to keep readying an Eldritch Blast, and I'm going to fire the Eldritch Blast when I see it.
Okay, sure. So you're kind of keeping an eye on the doorway entrance area, and should it appear, you will fire away. Okay.
Yes.
Jumping back inside then, Indigo and Sephel, what's going on?
Sephel is getting frustrated and also just trying to get a gauge and as little, just a sliver of control or benefit in this situation. He's going to slowly start walking across the room and talking while he does so. You have a wonderful abode, and I appreciate your invitation. But while you tote about courtesy and politeness of your guests, what kind of hosts hides themselves, sicks their pets on their guests, keeps their guests against their will? There is no entertainment or hospitality to be seen in this place. If you wish to impose values, set an example. Otherwise, and he crosses, at this point he's gotten to the window next to Laboda and Stool. Otherwise,
do you look out the window?
No, he doesn't look
Okay.
out the window. Says, otherwise, we will follow your example. And he takes his staff and he's going to smash the window.
Okay. All right. You smash the window, and you hear the woman's voice once again go, "Now that was very unkind. Pet? Sick upon you? I do not think so. I merely made him invisible so that you would not harm him. I had no intentions of letting him harm you. Now Mrs. Laboda tried to steal from me, and I will not have my things taken. And I imprisoned the thief till I found a better way of dealing with them. Now you have come into my home under my invitation. You have moved my furniture, smashed my window, and I have felt threatened. So I will not show myself. But I think you will find yourself in very much pain." And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw there, Sephel.
Okay. With the D4, because I am still blessed, correct?
Sure. How long does that bless last for there, Andrew?
I guess that is a minute.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, then that's gone, baby. That's gone.
All
Give
right.
me a minute.
You said wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, boy. Let me check something real quick. I'm going to guess this isn't a disease or a poison.
No.
Yeah. Make ability check. No, that ability is
check
ability
all
checks.
your numbers.
Yep, I am looking, and nothing is to my benefit, so that is an 11.
That's a fail.
Hmm.
Let me just finish us up here, taking off all the bless. And going to this god-awful spell Oh my god. What does Sephel fear? What is their worst nightmare?
Fuck. Self-incrimination, man.
Yeah.
What is Sephel's worst fear?
While you're figuring that out, I'm gonna roll some stuff.
I think. I mean, it's kind of like that first madness situation. I think just being in a situation where he is completely vulnerable and with no control.
Well, don't have to worry about that. You take 25 points of psychic damage.
Oh my god.
Shit. Are you still up?
Yeah, I'm still up.
You are also frightened.
Yeah.
As you feel like you try to like draw upon your magics and like you're looking down in your hands in like horror as like your fingers won't move, like your tentacles and your lips cannot move to form the magics, and you just feel the stabbing pain in your head. You have taken a horribly nasty spell, and you are now frightened. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he.
Question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
So frightened, you have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws while the source of the fear is within your sight. So while you can't see her, you're okay? Or, I mean, obviously, roleplay wise, you're still freeze them.
She does appear. Don't worry. I will show you, yeah. I just have to go back to the GM layer. You see this figure appear from behind this door that leads into another room, and you see that their arm was outstretched, the silver mask, the nice yellow kind of golden dress, the long flowing brown hair, and they start walking towards you, Indigo. As Sephel, what are you doing in this frightened state?
I mean, with that worst fear in mind and the magic's not working and this searing pain, like, I think he stumbled back against this corner, like back away from the window, like stumbled backwards against the wall and is like cowering. Like up against the wall, looking at his hands, his like long fingers are vibrating, like nothing is working, and he is terrified, has no control over his mind. It's like, complete shock and fear.
Indigo, you now see this woman start approaching you. She kind of like folds her fingers together in front of her, and she's slowly walking towards you. Indigo, I'm very sorry to have done such a thing to your friend, but he did smash my window and did insult me. If it is all right with you, I would still very much like to show you my altar. I think you could learn a great deal from it.
Indigo's gonna look her dead in the eyes. If you've promised not to hurt any of my friends again, I'd love to see your altar.
I will make this problem, Indigo. And then you can hear her voice now, Lara, in both Stool and Laboda. But if any harm should befall me, that promise is broken. Fair?
Fair.
Very well. And she comes up to you, and she walks up to where the statue is in front of the door and just kind of waves her hand, and it scoots across and moves back into its place. And then she motions her hand once again, and the door flies open. Sephel, crouched in the corner, And she steps out, and Lara, you see this figure appear. And Indigo, do you follow?
I will. I'm gonna turn back, and as I do, I'm just gonna like look at Sephel and be like, "Hang in there," and I'm gonna give him a quick healing word to like mitigate his massive damage loss.
Sure.
But I want to give you a little bit of help on the way out.
You can make another wisdom saving throw there, Brendan.
Okay.
And you get 5 points back.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Minimal
Well,
heal.
Hey, it put me back to double digits. No. 7.
Yeah, you're still in this panic. You feel like you can't, you're like, I feel the magic, I can draw upon it for sure, but I can't get my mouth and my fingers to do the verbal and somatic components. I can't pull the materials, I can't draw forth them. But Indigo, you can see Sephel
so much worse.
Moving their fingers, and their tentacles are moving, and it's just like you have no idea. They seem to be lost in their own world. Lara, you watch as Indigo and this woman appear from this hut, and they start walking. And she starts leading you towards the beach, Indigo, kind of like coming to the crest here. And as you're both walking, and Lara, what are you doing as they are making more and more distance away from you? I'm just curious because I don't want to take anything away from you because you've still been on this well watching.
Yeah, so Indigo comes out with this woman, and Lara, she sees it, she hesitates, because it doesn't look like Indigo is in danger, but Sephel isn't there. So she's looking at Indigo, and then she's looking back at the house, and she's kind of looking at both. I would like to sprint into the building to see where Sephel is.
Okay. Yeah, you find him inside, cowering in the corner, going on about how they can't move their fingers and stuff like that.
Yeah, she will march right up to Sephel.
Loboda and Stool climb in through the window as well. You guys are now all kind of in a huddle around Sephel.
What happened?
I don't know. He was fine. He smashed the window, and then all of a sudden he just started collapsing into this fit. Sephel, you can make another saving throw. I have nothing. I do not understand magics. Stool's
mechanical
I can
question.
try. Mm-hmm.
I know if this is a extenuating scenario where because of the state he's in, it causes it to drop anyway, I'm fine with that. I did make a concentration check to keep up detect magic, and did succeed. But if we just want to, if his magic is not working, if he is actually just down, I'm fine with just dropping that and losing the spell.
It's man, I'm gonna say, just because of the nature that this was psychic damage, and you are under a mental state of fear, I'm gonna say you don't have it up.
Nope.
Just because of that. If it was a different thing, I'd say absolutely yes, but just because of the nature of this particular spell.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that is way better. 19.
Okay. You all of a sudden you're just I can move my fingers. I can speak. This it's almost like a cloud has been lifted from your eyes.
Sephel's eyes just at this point he was probably, I imagine he was just crouched in the corner, trying to get control of his facilities again. As soon as he has clarity, he snaps to Lara. You are letting her get away with him.
Where are they going?
She will steal him.
And
he's he's still... maybe he's not frightened anymore, but he is scared of this woman.
Did she say where they're going?
The altar. The south
Lara's
side
gone.
of the island.
She's already left. As soon as he says altar, she's going to start booking it out the door.
Okay, you start sprinting out the door, and as you pass through it, you hear like right next to you.
Next to me.
Mm-hmm. You just hear it, but nothing happens.
Then I'm going to keep running.
Okay.
I want to go... I know where the altar is, right? We saw it when we rode in.
Yep. If you look to the very southwest of your map, I am pinging it currently. It's across the rickety bridge that you had passed under and kind of sits on that small island crest.
Okay, so I see that they're going the long way around. I want to head for the, Indigo and this madam are going, the long way around toward where there's a bridge leading to this. Sorry, I'm trying to describe it for the listeners. I want to go the opposite way where I would have to cross a bit of water, but that's the way I'm going to go because it's quicker.
Okay. You do see that, this is all this area over here is cliffs, so you would have to climb about 20 feet to get up there. Yeah, it stands a lot higher wherever this kind of gray edging is on the map. That is cliffside.
I'm a buff bitch. I'm in it. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. All right. You dive into the water and you start swimming across. Make me an athletics check. While Indigo and this woman are walking around, we'll join back into their conversation here in a moment.
Can I say something to Laboda as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
As Lara's running. So, as Lara runs out and Sephel is picking himself up off the floor, he turns to Laboda. You said you believe this woman had something of yours in her possession. Now would be the time to find it. We may need it.
All right. I'll try to find it. And she kind of sprints off across the room, going to the door here.
I'm gonna help her look. I will. If this gear is as special as she thinks it is, I may be useful. So I'm gonna pop up detect magic again.
Sure.
And follow her. Because we need her strongest.
Let me just quickly double check something. You do detect something magical coming to the south of you. You think it's probably 15 to 20 feet away. Actually, you detect a couple different types of magics. One of them is 25, and then you detect two other presences. The larger one, that's 25 feet away, you detect evocation. Okay. And the two other are actually kind of masked, so you know that there is magic, but you can't discern exactly what type.
And that's to the south?
That is all to the south. The way that Laboda is going currently, you do not sense magic. However, you do smell something horrible.
Oh, God. It's probably the pen. He's gonna stop her before she opens the door.
The door's actually already open.
Oh, okay.
That's why, you can smell it now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And considering where you're standing, you can see into it a little bit, and you see that it is what looks like there's a long table in there, and it looks like it's some type of kitchen. And the smell,
God.
It smells like death. Decaying, grotesque, horrible meats and stuff like that.
What happened to Hansel? No, I will pass to Lady Laboda that I have sensed magic to the south of us. Mm-hmm. Is there a doorway there? I know roll 20 map, there is more. I don't want to assume anything.
There is a door right here.
Okay. But I didn't get anything from that door. Everything I caught was beyond that door.
Was beyond that door. And you know that the building kind of jutted out a little bit in that particular direction. So you would assume that there is some type of room. You said you mentioned this to Loboda, that you detect something to the south there?
Yes.
Or no? Okay.
Yeah, I have multiple magics.
Sure. You mention this to her, and she just stands looking paralyzed into the room.
Oh, God. I'm gonna come,
She's looking into the kitchen?
She's looking into the kitchen, yeah.
I'm gonna come up behind her, put a hand on her shoulder as if she didn't hear me.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of
and see what's beyond.
Yeah, you peer in as well, and the details are a little fuzzy in here. But on the table, you see that there is a large, very large cleaver. You see that there is fine silverware and cookware, and there is a plate with many discarded forms of bones. And you can immediately identify it as humanoid bones. And you see to the south of it is a very, very large pile of more of these bones, and you can see what look like teeth marks across the bone. But this is very clearly not where a monster or beast would be eating. It is set up as a human's dining room.
She's
with a singular
fucking
chair.
eating people and gnawing on the bones.
Uh-oh.
Tell them it's people! Silent Green is people! Sorry. That's a really old reference.
I got you, Will. I got you.
Fuck.
Thank you. And we're going to cut back to some other people. Let's come back to Indigo and our good friend Maven Delve. You guys have been making your way across this aisle, and you are almost there to the bridge. And as you've been making your way, she's kind of making this idle chit-chat. She goes, "What do you think of my aisle, Indigo? It's quite something, is it not?"
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all the giant dragon skeleton. That's pretty neat. And I could do without the people statues, but, you know.
That is understandable. I find them to be far better guests now than they were before. I always try to be kind to anyone who stumbles upon these shores, but I have found that not many people care for myself or Glare, my Basilisk. All manner of things seem to find themselves attracted to this place. I think it is because of the worm bones. I have tried many times to hide its source of power. Nature seems to thrive here. I'm sure it's what brought you here.
I mean, honestly, we just fell asleep in our little rowboat and just kind of ended up here. It was kind of just a happy accident.
How curious that you would be drawn here in such an odd circumstance. I have not had such a guest arrive in such a way.
Well, you know, when you have Toral guiding your step, you know, sometimes good things just happen to you.
Oh, you worship Toral.
Yeah, do you?
For a time, I once did. But now I find myself drawing upon many gods and powers beyond. I found that one voice was not enough to learn. I have dedicated many years to understanding various parts of our universe.
Well, I mean, you can be devoted to Toral and still understand a lot of the universe. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. I'm not here to hoist him upon anyone.
Well, I appreciate that. And someone else of your order, the other visitor, said something of the same vein. And I found them quite enlightening for a time, but then they grew angry and attacked me, and that is why I now wear this mask.
Oh, no, did they hurt your face?
Yes, bear a horrible deformity now. I'm sorry, this is not what we're here for. And you have now crossed over this bridge, and you now stand upon the aisle. And you see at this altar that there looks like... I really want you to picture in mind that on the backside, think Stargate. Like there's this big stone loop with all these different markings about it. And there's kind of like this large central dais with some stairs that go up to it. And there's actually an extremely large 5 foot tall and probably about 5 foot wide cauldron. And there are all sorts of older candles that are welted on the 4 different pedestal corners around this altar, in all sorts of different kinds of runes. But also you see a lot of other interesting features, not necessarily depicted on the map. You see large growths of fungi in one corner. You see on another that the grass is kind of like pulled away, and on one corner that there is a large collection of crystals and lichen and like algae. It appears to be kind of wet. And then on the other corner there is this odd kind of like black stone, kind of like black marble, except for the white streaks, it's of this deep purple. And she kind of leads you up towards the altar, and she goes, "This is where I call out to them for guidance. I'm sure you could as well."
Call out to who?
"Any gods that would hear me, that would heal me of the harm done."
And have they answered your calls?
"They have not yet, and it wears on me." And she like walks up to the altar, and obviously our tokens here are a little bit bigger, but she kind of steps up to the cauldron, and she gives a wave of her hand, and these logs that were underneath it alight, and she goes, "I would like to try and call upon Proal, perhaps, who might look on me kindly with your help. I have not tried reaching to them before."
Oh, wow. I mean, you think we can talk to Proal through this thing? What is this?
"This is what I have used to scry and contact other planes. And through you and I, we can most certainly reach their ears."
Oh, silly. You don't need something like this to talk to Proal. Do you want me to show you how?
"Please, yes."
I will offer her both of my hands, palms up.
Okay. We're going to very quickly cut back to Lara here, who... Did you roll the athletics check? I can't remember.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
A nat 1.
Oh, shit.
You've been sitting on that for like 10 minutes.
I
Wow.
know, I'm dying.
Holy shit.
Now, for the record, it's a nat 1 plus 5 for a 6.
Oof.
What happened to that buff bitch shit?
It's a 5% chance. There's nothing I can do.
You just went so headlong into it that you like dive in, and there was actually like a large rock underneath the water that you slam straight into as you dive. It's like when you hit the bottom of a pool before you were expecting to when you dive in. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Gonna roll that concentration check on my invisibility.
Oh yeah, you do.
It's an 18.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. But I will say, like, you recover and you manage to swim over to the southern cliff sides here. Are you going to attempt to climb up?
Yes.
Okay, make another athletics check.
9.
You at this moment aren't finding any good particular purchase, as like your mind is still reeling, your eyes are a little bit blurry after you hit that rock in the water.
That tracks.
You can try again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not giving up, so I think it's just a matter of how long it takes.
Sure.
15.
Okay. It takes you a little bit to find purchase, and you slowly start making your way up. And by the time you have like reached the very lip and you are peeking over, you see this woman in indigo joining in hands. You could hear their voices getting closer, and they are like standing in front of like this altar. And
Can I do a thing?
Sure, yeah.
When I see them joining hands,
Mhm.
and I don't think that this would be something that she would know. I want to hex her.
Okay, read me Hex. And so the
Yeah.
listening audience knows it well.
It's a bonus action, range of 90 feet, concentration, so I would not be invisible anymore. So the hope is that I'm not peeked over yet, but like I'm looking.
Yeah, you're looking and you throw a hand out to hex them. Okay.
Yeah. You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack. Also, choose one ability when you cast the spell. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability.
Okay.
And then basically, if there's a way to transfer the hex to someone else, but
Sure.
not important.
Yeah, you do this, and how do you picture? I almost in my head, you guys know how much I love hearing about how you describe your magic. How does it appear? How do you know your target is cursed? Do you feel it? Do you see something simply upon them? Like I always picture like some kind of rune, like being etched into the skin cinematically, but like they have no notice, or like how does it appear?
I think it's a dark shadow. I think that there is like
Nice
darkness behind her, like maybe like a shadowy figure like of herself behind her.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Peter Pan shadow, but you have control over it, and it's debilitating them. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, that's just what came to my head. I want to see the friggin' fan art of this particular moment of like this woman in indigo joining hands, Lara reaching over the cliff, and this shadowy figure behind him. Okay, Indigo, take it away.
Oh, and I chose wisdom.
And you chose wisdom. Okay, thank you. I'll write that down so I don't forget.
Indigo takes her hands into his. Proal, you watched over me my whole life. You led me to the Wandering Abbey, and now I find myself here. And I know you wanted me to see this place, because you brought me here. And as I called to you before, I felt this. I knew this altar was here. And now I've made a new friend. And I ask you to heal them the way you've helped me heal others. O Proal, heart of the world, master of storm, sky, and earth below, please take us into your hands in this moment, that we may hear your voice and know your right path.
Yeah, you feel Proal. You feel that kind of connection. But you feel like she has acknowledged your call for aid, but you feel a sense of no. And Maven Delve kind of sighs, and she's like, see, even Proal will not help me. I do have another, though. And she starts chanting. What languages do you speak, Indigo?
Just common, elvish, and goblin.
Okay. You feel that there's like different languages that she starts chanting in, and like the cauldron beside you starts to bubble and kind of roil and swirl, and all of a sudden it looks like there's a vortex inside of it. And then she like opens, or like it looked like it would be like she opened her eyes, but like her head kind of pulls back because you can't see any distinctive facial features, and she's like oh, there you are. And she pushes you into the cauldron.
No.
Oh no!
No!
In Indigo, you find yourself very much just falling. Just in pitch blackness. You felt like this hot, searing liquid and then nothing. And then I almost picture like we're looking down, kind of like that slow-mo where, you know, you see someone falling in a movie like, oh no. And then you're gone. And then you reappear. And you hear this horrible howling wind that's like ripping at your clothes, and you find yourself as you're blinking your eyes, you see a stone floor beneath you, and you see like this sandy wind hurtling by you, I should say. And as you kind of like look up blinking, the sand kind of picking at your eyes, you see kind of through it what looks like some kind of very tall form with what looks like some kind of white shroud ripping about them. And I want you to do two things for me there, Indigo.
Cool.
I want you to roll me a D100 first.
Cool. Totally casual and fun. That is a 32.
A 32. Okay. Just checking the sheet here. Oh, fuck. Okay. This is so much fun. All right. Roll me a D20.
Yeah. Fun.
No, this has the potential to be so cool.
That
Or
is a
very bad.
With that delightful knowledge, that is a 16.
Hey, that's half of your first number.
This is going to be great.
I don't like that he's turning his video back on for this.
I want you to see my face. Jumping very quickly back to Lara, you see this woman throw Indigo into the cauldron, and her voice changes. May you look kindly upon me, gods, demons, devils. Take this soul. Give me more. Give myself and my sisters more. And you see this illusion drop, and you see this long white hair, this horrible pale green skin, this long bent green nose, and she like reaches into the cauldron and pulls out what looks like bones and viscera in her hands. She's like, feast upon his soul. And we're back at Indigo. And from what you can discern of this very large form walking towards you, they appear to be of kind of a womanly guise. But you just hear screams and torment all about you, and it seems like the figure keeps shifting underneath this shroud that is wrapped all about them, and it looks skeletal in nature. And then you see like their arms come outwards, and you start feeling yourself being pulled off the ground, and like everything on you and that you possessed is just like being stripped from you. And then you start hearing that language that you heard from Demogorgon. It starts chanting something, and you can't understand it. But you see certain things starting to swirl about you. Most specifically, you see your mimic. it starts being like pulled apart into its true like horrible purple toothy eye forms. Looks like it's being twisted and bent, and then you see it just come upon you, and it's like on your face and consuming you and your whole body, and we just see it from the outside, both the mimic and Indigo becoming this one kind of amorphous form, bending and moving, like clawing outwards. We see a horribly shaped hand, and then a leg pushing out from another point. This voice chanting. And then we're back with Lara and Maven Delve. And we see Sephel, Laboda, Stool, as they're looking upon this form, and they hear a hiss from behind them, and the scraping of many talons upon the floor. And we hear this large explosion as the cauldron bursts, and both Miss Delve is thrown backwards, and we see that amorphous form clawing out from what remains of the cauldron, and it's like bending back into what looks like this horrible purple flesh, and when a mouth comes to, it's fanged and gruesome. The eyes that were once pure red a moment ago, and multiple of them in the shape of the mimic, solidify into one and just... And Lara, you see Indigo in the flesh standing there as they kind of rise up. And that's where we'll leave it this time.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, what?
What?
I'm sorry,
What the fuck?
Jesus.
No! What did you do?
Hey, you, loyal listener, you've made it this far to the post show notes, and that means the absolute world to us. Thank you so much for being here. If you have one more second, we would adore you if you could leave a rating and a review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening in. The ratings and reviews are astronomical when it comes to growing the show because it's what gets us noticed for new listeners. So if you have just a moment to do that, please do. And we also have a Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to give us a follow. It's at The Madness Table. And if you've noticed, we are now posting weekly episodes because of supporters like you. So if we haven't said it enough, thank you. And we will see you in just 7 short days for our next episode when...